So it was Ralph Waldo Emerson who gave a quote about believing to hitch your wagon to a star, and it absolutely is one of my favorite quotes. He talked about that because he knew for us to get through this physical existence and do the work that we came here to do. I mean, our wagon happens to be our physicalness, right? And our wagon is here by a divine appointment. We are here to do special things because we are here to listen to Spirit and fulfill the manifestation of creative intelligence, of wisdom, of love, of whatever it is. We are here to manifest all that. So we've got to take care of this wagon. But there's a most important thing to do, and that's why it was so important what Mary read this morning about hitching this wagon to something greater. Because believe it or not, we have that call within us to aspire to something more. We're not here just to stay the same or be ordinary. We're here to be wonderful. We're here to express Spirit in all whatever little ways and big ways we can, but always on that path of growth and evolution in an upward spiral. Because that's the way God works, and we know that. Now, it's really cool. I was talking to Dr. Jim, who loves ancient Greece. I mean, really, he's a pro at that, a professional. And he was telling me about Plato and what he said about hitch your wagon to a star, a little different. But he wrote that that God created the equal number of souls and stars. Now, I haven't counted them, so I can't tell you if that's true or not. But he created that equal number, so each soul has its own star, a star that guides them through their life, if they listen, if they're plugged in, if they're hitched to it, if they connect to it. Isn't that a beautiful thought? That we all have divine wisdom right there waiting to tell us, to talk to us, to give that intuitive guidance. Now, I know from stars, I do know a little bit about stars because I see them, but stars don't light our whole path, but they will tell us the next step. We have to get plugged in, and we have to listen. Now, Plato went on to say in his book, Timaeus, I think that's what it's called, written in 360 BC. It was about the formation of the universe and the order and beauty that's inherent in the universe. And also inherent in each human is a divine center. Well, we know that. But he went on to say that that divine center grows as we live rightly, justly, in goodness, that it will grow and become. Well, we know that, and that was shared thousands of years ago. Well, in Kabbalah, which is the mystical Judaism, they also have something about creation, which I love. And they say creation is a tree. Well, we've heard of the tree of life in Christianity. We would say we understand that. But this tree is a little bit different. This tree is inverted. Instead of its roots being in the earth, its roots are in heaven. And the branches express on earth. And I believe that's the way it really is. That's the way it is. We are here because we come from Spirit. Teilhard de Chardin, a French priest and scientist, said, "We are not human beings having an earthly experience. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. And we have to start living that way." And that's the challenge for us, is we have to plug into that something greater. And we do that through focus, discipline, and deliberate choice. In everything we do, we make sure we get plugged into that. Here in this earthly wagon, if we didn't have a body, if we didn't have this expression, we couldn't manifest Spirit. But if we didn't have the guidance of our star or spiritual wisdom, we just go around aimlessly in this life, and that's not what it's about. We have a direction, just as Plato said, to get more in alignment which is good with what is good and right and true. That's what we're here to do. And we do that by plugging into something greater. Our spiritual practices, prayer, contemplation, meditation, journaling, connection, sharing, talking, whatever it is, by plugging into something more. Friedrich Nietzsche said, One must have chaos in oneself in order to give birth to a dancing star. Oh. Why? Why? It's because we get broken open. We get broken open. And hasn't it been, if you look back on your life, hasn't it been in your worst challenges, your hardest parts that you've grown the most? Isn't it those times when we come out because we have to find something greater, something bigger, something more? It was interesting, when we're really looking for something, it shows up in interesting ways. And Kathy, Julene, I know you're not here today. I hope you and Roger are watching. Because in this month's Science of Mind magazine, it's called Stretch into Possibilities. And in order to reach our star, we've got to be stretching. But she has an article. And Kathy, it's a beautiful article. Kathy used to be editor of the Science of Mind magazine, and it's called Directing Your Creative Power for Good. And I really recommend you read it. She's got some wonderful steps in here. It really guided me when I was really at a low point this week. But she opens her article with a quote from Ernest Holmes. Your thought operates independently of conditions. I'm going to say that one more time. Your thought operates independently from conditions and has the possibility of transcending circumstances as they are now and causing new ones to be created. Wow, that's the power we have in every moment. Our thoughts, we sometimes hook our wagons to our thoughts and our thoughts to the material world, but that's not where they are. Our thoughts are capable of much more than that. We're capable of creating newness right here and right now. Divine intelligence is available to us at every single moment, but we have to plug into it. We have to think about it. And so I'm going to ask you a question. If you just think about your earthly wagon for a minute, think about what condition it's in. Is it rickety? Is it creaky? Is it well-oiled? Does it get enough exercise, or you just park it in the garage in front of the TV and sit there? I mean, is it working the way it should? And is that wagon full of fears and regrets and anger and resentment and negativity, so there's no room for something greater? There's no room for possibilities? We've got to really take care of this vehicle. Remember, it's a divine appointment that we're here. It's a precious gift. And when Kathy in this magazine talk about stretching into something greater, we've got to realize the power we hold right now, that we can hitch our thoughts to a bigger spiritual aspiration for ourselves. More love, more compassion, more caring, more understanding, maybe something we need to create in the world, something new, something different. We have that ability right here and right now. We've got to be thinking about that. Now, what I was saying for my action step, which wasn't nearly as good as yours, Mary, but I said, think about what you do every day. And if we really want to hitch our wagon to a spiritual star, we've got to start taking the mundane things we do in our daily practice, whether it's commuting or doing the laundry or cooking just a plain old meal or whatever it is, and start making it a spiritual practice. Do you know our word InSpirit is a real word? And it means to be inspired. We are here to live inspired. We're not here just to tread water. We're here to be filled with spirit, to be inspired. And if we just start doing our daily practices with something more, it'll be pretty amazing for us that we can think of spirit in everything. So how Martin Luther King said, the ultimate measure of a person is not where they stand in moments of comfort and convenience, but where they stand during challenge and controversy. This is where trust and faith in our spiritual practices come in so strongly in those tough times when we really have to. Martin Luther King went on to say faith is when you take the first step of a staircase, but you don't see the whole staircase. When you have the faith that you're going someplace. I want you to think in your life. I can certainly think about it when I got an intuitive flash. There was nothing certain about it. Nothing certain about it. And you follow that path, and it comes out great. I remember it was after we lost our daughter, and we were broken open, and I had this flash. Number one, I'm not a shopper. I don't like to shop. I don't have any business experience, but I got this hit to open an angel store because our daughter loved angels. And I just said, that is the right thing to do. And I did all the research. I found out how to start a business. I did all this. We opened the business. It was a beautiful gift to us and so many for a long time. And that's pulled me into times of uncertainty. We know the answer. Divine intelligence is there. We must train ourselves that those times that are tough, that we go inward to that divine consciousness within us, that we plug into it in the silence, and we listen. And you will, and if you do not think about the problem, because too many of us marinate in the problems, but start thinking about the possibilities, the answers. Think of the answer. Be open. And you might, as I said, not get the whole thing, but you will get an intuitive flash of the next step of what there is to do. I'm going to put that right now. So we're going to start our healing wall now, and I'll finish up after the healing wall, but I'm going to invite our healers to come up right now to form a wall. And I want you in your time right now to just imagine that you have the possibility in this moment to connect with something larger, that message, that wisdom, the love, the possibility that wants to talk to you. And make yourself available right here and now. And we'll have some music, and if you stay in your seats, that's fine. If you come up, please, as we do, you just put your hands out, and we do a little opening of your energy. You go back in your seat, and so just come up now. And as our healers are finishing up, I simply invite you to know there is one request from Spirit, and that is not just to follow the light, but to become the light. Jesus said, I am the light of the world, and you are the light of the world. The 14th century Sufi mystic said, light will someday split you open. Even if your life is now a cage, little by little, you will turn into stars. Turn into stars. And so with me, just say right now, today, I align my life with Spirit. I open to a greater expression of myself. I allow the light of love, the light of healing, the light of joy to permeate me and to permeate my soul, that I may express goodness for myself and for others, and make this world a brighter and better place. Right here, right now, and so it is. God bless you all. We love you. Thank you for expressing yourself, for being here, and being part of a consciousness that brings healing and light and love to the world.